You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
What's up, North Georgia? Hey, man, it's a Tailgate Thursday right here on the Morning Rant. Thanks for being with us. Again, the episode being brought to you by Green Heating and Cooling. Once again, they've been getting it done since 1971. They can get it done for you, too. Call Green Heating and Cooling today. Again, Green Heating and Cooling, a tradition of comfort. Man, we got a full platform for you here today on Thursday. And starting out the show, I got my man, the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, joining us remote here as we get set for our Tomahawk Take, presented by our friends at Northside Hospital Cherokee. Also, our Hang It in the Louvre, again, favorite moments from the world of sports, our prep rally, high school roundup, and, of course, the Cooper Predictor, sitting in a little bit of a different place this morning there, it sounds like, partners. So, yeah, man, where's your microphone? I mean, can we even hear you right now or what?
Yeah, it's right in my ears, man.
Oh, there you
able
go.
to hear me just fine.
You've got a little bit different setup right here. Where are you at the beach somewhere or what?
No, I am in office number 2. I got kicked out of mine.
Oh, so, you got kicked out of your office.
I'm low on the totem pole. Very low on the totem pole,
hey,
as
man.
you know.
Yeah, well, hey, that's all right. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man, to keep everybody happy. So totally get that. Joining us in studio right now, though, again, and someone who was on the show a little while back. I can't remember exactly how long ago that was. It was right after the playoffs. It's like during the NFL playoffs. A big Denver Bronco fan joining us right here inside our studio, Mr. Casey Geiger from Geiger Legal Group, our Monday morning quarterback sponsor. Casey, you were in with us this morning doing a little bit of recording, so I wanted to drag you back into the show right here because, again, the response we had from the first time was so awesome, man, because you do such a good job. But, man, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, looking great as always. I think you are the best dressed legal, person I think I know, man.
Well, if all I have to do is put on a button-down T-shirt and a pair of jeans, then I'm doing pretty good.
You got style, though, man. So that's the thing I like about you, man. You got style. You wear it well. So, again, a full house here. Again, Casey joining us for the first segment as we talk a little bit about the Braves. We talk about NFL. Casey, what do you think so far? NFL moves again. Man, Drake London with the extension for the Falcons.
Big old extension.
A.J. Brown, of course, going to the Patriots. Myles Garrett, the big trade, going over to the Rams. They seem to be loading up. But, man, your thoughts, because I know you follow the NFL.
The Garrett trade was interesting to me because they gave up a pretty good amount. You know, they gave up the draft pick, the first, but also a really good young talent. So, I mean, Garrett can get them. I think the hope probably is Garrett can get them this year, right? It is a play to try and win the Super Bowl next year, and that's it.
Right, yeah.
But the future, they're kind of saying, screw the future. Let's go after everything right now.
Right, yeah.
I don't mind that. I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're going all in, no doubt about it. I'm not going to repeat exactly what the GM has said about their picks over the years with the Rams.
I was trying to stay kind of kosher there too. So
PC, PC. Trying to keep it a PG rated show here, if nothing else. Again, my 3-day co-host John Davis, who again co-host of the show. Sometimes he's a former professional football player. He's a former Buffalo Bill. So sometimes he lets his emotions get the best of him. Coop knows this. And so, yeah, he'll throw out a word or two every once in a while. I got to remind him, like, now, Big John, now, we're on radio now. Be careful. Right. No, but again, we try to keep it safe for the kids right here. Hey, on this Thursday, Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant, Casey, again, stopping by this morning, recording some new commercials. You guys have a lot of stuff going on right now, and that's why I wanted to spend a minute with you to kind of get the word out about some of the things you guys have going on in the community with the law firm.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks, or actually 3 weeks from now, we are hosting a teacher giveaway. It's one of the bigger events we do every single year.
Yep. Nominate
a teacher of anybody you like that's in the local area. Nominate them, and we'll pick 25 people to be a part of a teacher shopping spree.
Wow.
They come to our office. I think you guys may be able to come down as well. Yep. They come down to our office, and we've got everything they can just pick, grab, fix up their things because they need help putting things into their classrooms for their kids, and we want to give them that opportunity so they can fully load up their classrooms on us,
right?
And make the classroom special for our kids.
A lot of people don't realize a lot of teachers, especially first-year teachers, for example, they're out of pocket on a lot of stuff. I mean, the school system does provide, some things, but again, not everything. And so there are. My wife's a teacher; she's been in the system for 23 years, so I totally get it. But again, she's constantly ordering stuff for her classroom for different things that they need to have. And while the school system does provide some things, like we mentioned, not everything. And so, again, the things that you guys do, I know a lot of churches get together and do the backpack things for the students, but the things that you guys are doing truly makes a difference in the community. And I think that's one thing I love about you guys. There's a lot of attorneys, there's a lot of different folks that advertise on the radio and do different things around town, but you guys really do, put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. And so I love some of the things that you guys are doing in the community. You just wrapped up your first responder event, too, and had great response with that as well.
Yeah, we do that every single year. This is the 5th year, I believe, we've done it, where we just invite all the first responders in the local area. We feed them, we provide them supplies, materials, giveaways. I think one of the first responders won a trip to Barnsley Gardens for take his wife and spend the weekend there and on us. So just to support the first responders.
I love it. Now, we're not going to talk legal stuff because this is a sports show right here, but I will ask you this because you and I were talking and we were working on some spots and things. The big case when you guys first came on the air with us, and certainly with the Pulse, the $15.2 million case, you were talking a little bit about where that's at right now. So give our listener, in case people are wondering about that, like where are we at with it right now?
Yeah, so we tried that case to a verdict in July of last year.
Yep.
After that, the defense filed an appeal and has gone all the way up and it's sitting now into the the Georgia State Supreme Court,
right?
Waiting on oral argument where we'll argue that case in front of the Supreme Court. The defendant, if you recall, was a drunk driver driving on the wrong side of the road, hit a young girl, caused her to have a brain injury. Now he's asking the Supreme Court to throw the entire thing out.
Goodness.
We'll see what happens. I'm very confident in how the case was tried and the results we're going to get, but we've got to follow through the process. So probably another 6 months at least.
Wow. Yeah, these things take time, certainly. We hear the ads, of course, running during our program right here, and, of course, all over the Sports Pig, and we definitely appreciate you coming by, certainly hanging out with us and chopping up some football. You follow the Braves?
I do.
Because I know you guys give away tickets all the time. So
we are season ticket holders, and a lot of lucky listeners get to go to our seats in the Xfinity Club.
Yes, they have.
But, man, I was so skeptical of the Braves coming into this year. I just didn't even think, especially after last year, that they had. But, man, they have been crushing it this year.
They have. Again, Will Cooper, our golden boy, man, he is our Braves insider. You're rocking the Braves hat today and ready to talk about the Braves. We'll do that in our second segment with the Tomahawk Take coming up right here. Again, Coop, man, looking good out there. And I tell you what, man, football moves like we were talking about with Casey here all over the board on a random Monday, man. Things just started popping off, and we've seen a lot of movement over the last couple days.
Yeah, we certainly have. I mean, I think the local side of it with the Drake London deal, maybe a little expensive for what I was expecting they would do. But at the same time, you do need a solidified first starter when it comes to wide receiver. They haven't had that. Zachariah Branch provides a little bit of flexibility in the slot, which is something they've missed really since the Matt Ryan days. So I think the wide receiver room's in a good spot. Made sense to spend the money. The big question for me with the Falcons is, with Caleb McGarry retiring, is where does the offensive line spending go now? because that'll be the biggest difference.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, and especially, they brought in Jawan Taylor, whatever, from the Chiefs, trying to fill that void there. I don't know, like you and I have talked about, I'm not sure that's a long-term solution necessarily with the Falcons there at tackle, but nonetheless, moves being made. Now you got to figure out a way to extend Bijan and get him into his second contract. Certainly some big decisions coming up.
Have you seen, I saw this on social media, it was hilarious. Some guy was wearing a Bijan Al-Gib shirt.
Oh, yes.
If you've seen the Dune movies, at least on Al-Gib, I want to see when you go to the game some sort of AI created video that shows Bijan holding up a knife and Bijan Al-Gib. I think that would be so amazing. That would
be funny. And there were some different folks saying this is what happens when you order a Bijan jersey off of Temu, right? It's so again, a lot of different things out there right now, but a lot of fun right here again on the program. Yesterday we were 3 hours out at Bent Tree Golf Club as we celebrated the 34th annual John Davis Golf Classic, benefiting Georgia Mountains Hospice. Again, want to thank Gina Penley and all the folks from Georgia Mountains Hospice for another great tournament. They brought great weather with them. Not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures, it was just absolutely gorgeous yesterday up at Bent Tree there in Pickens County. And next Thursday, a week from today, we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, we'll be live at Biggins Barbecue from 10 to 12 next Thursday for the program. We've got some big announcements coming up over the next few weeks and then the next month. We're going to be back at Bradley's Bar and Grill off of Lower Roswell Road in East Cobb for another 3-hour shindig there, the second leg of our summer tour, the Bradley's Brunch and Lunch, and looking forward to that. And then, of course, a little bit later on, our third leg is going to come a couple weeks right after that. We're going to go back on July 4th weekend, July 3rd, Friday, July 3rd. And at that time, we will have some very big announcements to make about this program and the Sports Pig moving forward. Things I think you guys are going to like. We're going to kind of keep it under wraps as best we can, but there's some big things moving right here on the Morning Rant and also on Sports Pig Radio as well. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the direction of the program, and we're thankful for folks like Casey and Geiger Legal for being on board with us as well. And, man, I tell you what, football will be here before you know it.
That's right around the corner.
Yeah, man.
And I can't wait for football season. It's the best. It really is.
It's the best. It's the best. Now, how does your wife feel about football? She's a big sports fan, or
I don't know about big sports fan, but she will watch the games. Yeah.
So she rides with you.
But half the time she's like, okay, what does this mean?
Yeah. But at least she's willing to watch, right? Yeah. At least she's willing to pay attention. My wife's kind of the same way.
She's actually a bigger hockey fan than
really?
anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's she thinking about all the Stanley Cup stuff right now?
Oh, man. We were gutted. I'm a big Colorado Avalanche fan.
Right.
We were gutted when they just got swept by the Vegas Knights.
I didn't expect it, and we've talked a lot about that here. Yeah.
And then Carolina's obviously in the finals as well.
Right.
And I thought Carolina was going to do pretty well, but Vegas is tough.
They are, man. They are, man. They come out the other night and take game one. Again, 4-4 with a couple minutes left. Vegas gets the go-ahead goal there. They hang on 5-4 in game one of the Stanley Cup. NBA Finals last night, it was the Knicks defeating the Spurs. We'll talk about that coming up as well. Again, my man Will Cooper. We'll talk some hockey as well. He's a big Dallas Stars fan out there.
I'm sorry,
again,
Will.
We'll see what we'll see what happens right here. But Casey, man, thanks for stopping by the program this morning. As always, again, Casey Geiger from Geiger Legal joining us right here on this Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant. Hey, we're already up against our first break. When we come back, we'll talk some Braves, again, our Tomahawk Take, and plenty more things to chop up in the world of sports, including bringing it back locally to some of our high school teams as well. Some news and notes as we start peeking forward ahead into the high school football season. Once again, the Tailgate Thursday Morning Rant right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Make your home's air healthier. Green Heating and Cooling can help by installing a Bryant Evolution air purifier just for you. Using Captures and Kills technology, this highly advanced MERV15 filter captures many select airborne pathogens. It also helps improve indoor air quality for both asthma and allergy sufferers by filtering air impurities like dust, pollen, and pet dander. Call to schedule an evaluation. Green Heating and Cooling, your top Bryant authorized dealer, whatever it takes.
Big opinions
Nobody pray for me.
of the big
You may not
games
die for me.
from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY, the Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down.
Back here on a Tailgate Thursday, presented by Green Heating and Cooling. Thanks for being with us. Dave Garner alongside the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, joining us on the program as always on Thursday. Hey, next week I'm going to have you on Tuesday because Billy D's going to be joining me next Thursday at Biggins Barbecue in Talking Rock. Again, if you're passing through North Georgia, don't pass up the best barbecue in the South. Again, drop by Biggins. And also, don't let a busy parking lot fool you. Again, they have fast, efficient service that will get you back on the road in no time at all to pick apples or whatever it is that you folks do up here in North Georgia. Hey, Dave Garner with you till 11 o'clock this morning. Chuck Oliver, the king of college football with Southern Sports Today at 11 o'clock. We covered up Chuck yesterday because we were at, of course, at Bent Tree Golf Club and enjoying what was just a fantastic event. As we mentioned, Gina Penley, all the folks at Georgia Mountains Hospice put on a great golf tournament each and every year. John Davis, again, my co-host, the namesake, got involved with that thing. It's how I first met him. And, here we are, almost 30 years later, I guess, since I've known John. Haven't quite known you that long, Coop. But again, you and I have spent a lot of time together as well. And so here we are together here on this Thursday. And, man, I tell you, a lot of stuff breaking as we talked about in that first segment. Obviously, we want to thank Casey Geiger for stopping by and hanging out with us for a few minutes there. Casey was fortunate enough to be able to sit in here, or I was fortunate enough to be able to sit in with Casey about a month or couple months back as we got the show off the ground. And he actually sat in as one of my co-hosts, co-hosts for the day. And so I want to go ahead and get him back on here for just a minute and let folks know how much we appreciate him. But again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open at 866-888-0744. Again, 866-888-0744. We'll get it right in a second. Again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. But to kind of expand a little bit, Coop, on some of the things we were talking about in that first segment, obviously, the Rams trying to go all in. Russell Wilson to join the CBS booth as an analyst. And also OBJ, man, going back to the Giants. Like, I thought he was retired, man. I wasn't sure he's still in the league at this point. But like we said, man, a random Monday, things just popping off.
Yeah, I mean, I think, kind of going in those in order. Russell Wilson, was kind of one of those guys that fell off a cliff post the first year of being in Denver. Obviously, that experiment didn't work out for the Broncos. And then as far as OBJ goes, it's one of those things that with the amount of money that he got signed for, how bad can it really hurt you? Yeah. I mean, you might even, say, by week 4 that he's on a bench or just providing some, like senior type depth there, which is funny considering his name. But I just don't see any big issues with what they've done there. I think the big thing for the Rams is they are trying to win this year, obviously. Yeah. The bigger question for me would be what their future plan is. Right. Because obviously, a guy like Myles Garrett is going to make you a competitor. Not only were they a competitor last year, but they're really going to be this year. Probably odds-on favorite to win the whole thing. So now as you look ahead down the road, are you trying to re-sign him? How much money are you tying up in him? You know that you're going to get rid of the Matthew Stafford contract here in the next year or two. So you're going to save about $20-30 million a year on that side of it because Ty Simpson will be on a rookie contract. I even saw some Rams fans yesterday opining on a trade package they could put together for next year to try and get Joe Burrow from the Bengals in a package of like 4 first-round draft picks and Ty Simpson. Yeah. You can't live your life that way or you'll end up like the New Orleans Saints did post-Drew Brees, which they're still trying to get out of cap hell. You can't just keep trading draft capital for proven commodities. At some point, you got to take a risk and hope somebody pans out in the draft. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that there's a lot of citizen GMs out there that put together a lot of hypothetical trade scenarios for all of whatever team they cheer for.
But it's just that it's dealing in hypotheticals, and very rarely, do you see some of these things pan out, especially if you follow, X, Twitter, or whatever. You go online, the different things. Obviously, you see a lot of things that get passed off as clickbait for reports of things that are happening that aren't really happening. And if you dive deep enough, you don't even have to dive deep enough a lot of times to realize a lot of the stuff's fake. It's not true. But at the same time, everybody becomes a citizen GM this time of year, and they're like, well, what can we do to get this guy here? I'm like, dude, you're not even in the building, man. It doesn't matter. So again, but it is a very interesting take as we see some of these moves playing out right here. And, like I said, I mean, the Falcons, if we're bringing it closer to home, are going to have some decisions to make, obviously, with Bijan Robinson and some different folks like that. But it was good to see them kind of open up the wallet a little bit. And to your point, finally get out of some cap hell that they've had themselves since Matt Ryan left, of course. They've kind of been in a situation, but now they're starting to kind of climb out of that a little bit. But again, they got they've got I guess some of the draft picks. They didn't have a lot of draft picks this year. That was we talked about them stockpiling the draft picks. Still not a lot of money to spend, I don't think, in Atlanta now because of the Kirk Cousins situation. So again, they're probably a year or so away from really being open up the wallet. But again, a lot of these contracts they're backloaded, they're front loaded, or what have you. So again, the extension there with Drake London, they can structure that however they want to as far as how they pay that. Because the Falcons are still in a little bit of that themselves there. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think the Kirk money comes fully off the books next year, I think so, I believe, by the end of next year. And I think that's Bijan's money after that. I mean, the thing to Bijan and the thing that's going to be interesting is where the market is set for running backs.
Right.
When I was growing up in the early 2000s, having a running back, I mean, you were willing to shell out tons of money to keep those guys until they were 32, 33. And then in the 2010s, that went away.
Yeah.
The Adrian Petersons of the world were no longer making the big time money like the LaDainian Tomlinsons and those guys of the world were back in the early 2000s.
Right.
That market seems to have shifted back with Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson. It seems like now having a truly all pro level running back does make that big of a difference that you're willing to open up the wallet back again. And of course, the health issues come up. Now, Bijan's been incredibly resilient. I think he's a guy that's proven, and I don't have a problem putting the money back in him. But the market itself dictates the price. So, if Bijan knows he can't go get $30 million a year from anybody else, then he'll gladly sign with Atlanta for $20 million a year.
Right.
So all of that's to be settled and figured out over the next couple of years. But I think that deal is going to really pin whatever the Falcons can do outside of that. And the other thing is they don't have any big defensive contracts anymore. Who was the last guy that we had a big defensive contract for? Grady Jarrett, maybe?
Yeah.
Was the last guy you kind of look at and say, this was the big time, signing that we had.
Right.
But AJ Terrell's on a pretty, neutral contract. Nobody in the linebacking core commands any money. Jesse Bates probably deserves a little bit more money than he's getting.
Yeah.
But across the board, their defense is pretty evened out. So it does leave money for guys like Drake London to be signed. And again, we mentioned the offensive line going to have to do some retooling.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they put together this year because last year they were very good. This year we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And to your point, I mean, we talked about it yesterday on the program about the bell cow running back and the running back position changing so much. And the days of the Adrian Petersons and so forth, I mean, are kind of going away. Although, to your point, you do see guys like, obviously the Derrick Henrys and the Bijan Robinsons and so forth, and some of those guys like the Saquons. I mean, there are still some guys out there that are capable of doing different things, being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, like Bijan, very versatile kind of guy. Yeah, I would say arguably Bijan's the best receiver on the team. I mean, and so I don't see why they don't line him up outside more than anything and try to take advantage of a mismatch. Maybe they'll do that with Kevin Stefanski. We'll see. But the biggest thing I think for the Falcons, I'd love to see some imagination come out of this offense. But back to the contract thing, certainly the positions kind of change, and it was kind of where now it was, running back by committee over the last few years, but now you're starting to see some of these guys that can tote it. The carries do tend to kind of come down. You're not seeing guys carried at 30 times a game, maybe 18 to 20, as we talked about yesterday. So you still have to have that second running back in there to kind of split that room up a little bit. But certainly it'll be interesting to see what the Falcons do. Hey, let's talk some Braves, baby.
It's time to chop on.
Swung on and jolted high in the air. Deep right field. Back to the wall. A sonic boom out of the ballpark. Braves win it.
From Truist Park to every corner of Braves country. We've got your daily dose of Atlanta Braves baseball.
A walk-off grand slam, and this place erupts here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Highlights, hot takes, and all things red, white, and navy. It's the Tomahawk Take on WPGY, the Sports Pig.
All right, so the Braves get the dub last night, 7-3 over the Blue Jays. They've already basically won the series. They've got Game 3 tonight in Atlanta, and then the Pirates come to town for a 3-game set. Again, Ronald Acuna, man, finally starting to hit a little bit. I was giving my man Billy D a hard time the other night. He had 5 home runs in 4-game stretch there or what have you. Last night it was Ozzy Albies that went deep, and Mauricio with another 3-run blast.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week. The pub in LJ is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East LJ. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The pub in LJ, where every visit feels like home.
His demise was greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
And he's at this point we kind of have to admit that he's probably back to a 2023-esque level.
Right.
He's now at double-digit home runs. He's probably on pace for about 24, 25 home runs.
Yeah.
Which from a second baseman is very good. He's hitting 270. Mauricio Dubon, not a big home run guy, but, just a timely hitter. If you have runners in scoring position, you're praying you're seeing Dubon and not somebody like Austin Riley, unfortunately.
Yeah. Traditionally, you would want up in that situation, yeah.
Yeah, the Riley thing has been a topic of consideration for a while now. I don't know how long. Walt Weiss is the type of manager that's playing to win. Yeah. And he also has to balance that out with understanding that Austin Riley is the most expensive contract the Braves have. So there is a certain balancing act there. But it's real hard not to put Mauricio Dubon at third and Jorge Mateo at short and, Yastrzemski in left and say that's the best lineup we got. Ha-Seong Kim, his first hit since May 24th last night, an RBI single.
Yeah.
It was a lucky hit. It was a 69-mile-an-hour exit velocity on a 42 launch angle. It wasn't like he smoked the ball. It just found a hole.
My man Will Cooper with the next gen, though, man. I love it.
Well, you got to look at some of that because, when you see it in the game, you think this may be something that turns him around. That's his starting point. But in reality, if you look at it, it's not like he barreled the ball. It's not something you would look at and say, that's a sign he's going to get going. Hopefully he does. Hopefully mentally something clicks with seeing the ball fall.
Yeah.
But not always. So as you mentioned, Toronto, not necessarily the best team this year. They kind of have the history of the World Series loser, not doing well the next year continues with the Blue Jays. They can't hit to save their lives. Guys like Vlad Guerrero Jr. are just awful this year as far as in the batter's box. And then the Pirates come into town, which they've had some very good pitching, but not the best offensively. So we'll see how all of that measures up. But, to your point, claimed the series last night, chance to sweep tonight with Chris Sale on the mound. Feel good about that, especially at home. And then the Pirates come to town. Should be a fun one.
Maybe a little foreshadowing of the Cooper Predictor a little bit later in the show here today. So again,
possibly
we'll see what happens right here. But hey, you know what? In the box score, baby, Ha-Seong Kim line one hard right back up the middle for a base hit. Hey, in the box score, that's what it's going to look like. It's still an RBI hit. Hey, you'll take him any way you can get him, right? Come on.
With the guy batting 87.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll take anything you can get.
You'll take anything you can get out of Ha-Seong Kim. But again, the Braves looking good. We're going to continue. We're up against the break right now. We're going to continue the discussion on the other side of the break about the Braves. We'll come back and talk a little bit about the rotation, the pitching performance. Again, Grant Holmes last night, 6 innings, scattered 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Not a bad performance, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So again, good, starts here from your, 4th, 5th kind of guys there. In the rotation, you got to feel pretty good about Chris Sale tonight as long as we can give him a little offensive support there. But nonetheless, the Braves picking up another dub last night down at Truist. It was hockey jersey night, Drake Baldwin hockey jersey night. So a lot of different themes going on there. The Atlanta Falcon rookies were also honored with jerseys as well. So a big theme night midweek on a Wednesday down at Truist. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit more about our Braves on the other side of the break, as we mentioned. Our Tomahawk Take brought to you by your friends at Northside Hospital Cherokee. Once again, this is the Morning Rant right here and only on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the pub in L.A. is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East L.A. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The pub in L.A., where every visit feels like home. We bring the heat. You bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and sportspigradio.com.
Back here on a Tailgate Thursday, presented by our friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Hey, thank you to Jimmy Gibson and all the folks at Green for doing a great job. And like I said, man, I use these guys. They service the units. They replaced my upstairs unit back in the late fall there. And, man, I'm telling you, man, my wife and I are still loving the difference that it makes every single night. And now, you know, we gone kind of through a winter season where we ran the furnace, and now we're into the warmer season where we're running the air. I'm loving my new, digital thermostat and all that kind of stuff. And so I do appreciate the guys at Green Heating and Cooling for everything they've done to make our household comfortable again. And I've got my downstairs unit I got to replace at some point here pretty soon as well. So I'm talking to them about that, and they got a lot of different finance options and things that work with the budget. So again, man, I'm very pleased at this point with those guys. And again, they're our Tailgate Thursday sponsor. Hey, we're going to dive back into some Braves talk right here. But Coop, before we do that, I was joking around with Big John last night. We were talking about on the show about NIL. And, of course, back in his day, now you're young, all right, but do you remember Tecmo Bowl? Do you remember the old Tecmo Bowl video game? Okay, so you do remember.
Bo Jackson.
So what's funny is John was saying, hey, I was on that game, like you could tell it was me. I mean, it was my face and my beard and this, that. So I got to look at it last night, and sure enough, I pulled up and I just kind of Googled, and then I screenshot it, and I shared it on our Instagram page this morning on the Morning Rant. And it shows the lineup, like you can pull up the different actual lineups, and sure enough, man, the Buffalo Bills on Tecmo Bowl. I can't remember what year it was, 92 or 3 or whatever. You pull up Bills, and sure enough, man, it's got Kent Hull, it's got Jim Richer, it's got Will Wolford, Howard Ballard, and my man number 65, John Davis at right guard, right there. And I screenshot it and I sent it to him. Like I said, I shared it on social media as well. And I said, dude, where's your NIL money, man? I mean, name, image, likeness. And he's like, I know, man. I played in a different time. If I'd have been playing now, I'd have been cashing in. But again, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, swing and a miss because it's NFL, so NIL doesn't apply.
Well, that's but still, But they didn't. I don't think they got any money though from the video game, at all. Even as pros back then, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when we're going to change the name of the show.
To what?
The Morning Rant with John Davis, or talking about John Davis.
Because Big John Davis is, I mean, might as well take my name off the sign, man.
Exactly.
We're going to put his name. Hey, his name's coming to the sign, man. I'm telling you. Because, hey, man, he's got that NFL pedigree, that swagger. And here's the thing, Coop. He's cooking some meats, man. They're smoking some meats for us here in a couple weeks on the show. Nothing says endorsement like food. Now, you're a big foodie, right?
Am I?
Yeah.
That's a weird way to put it.
Well, you are. You don't look at it like the rest of us do. But you are a big foodie. I mean, you go out and do a lot of different, go to a lot of different places, eat a lot of different kinds of foods, prepare stuff yourself, don't you?
I do like to cook myself, yeah. Now, a foodie to me is somebody that can discern the, 20 different spices that are in, a certain rub of meat or something like that.
I thought that was, but you're usually pretty good about that stuff, aren't you?
Well, I make good food, but I wouldn't say that I am, like the thing that always kind of cracks me up is when you get the people that have the 12 different types of salt. This is my lava rock salt. This is my, Himalayan salt. Like, to me, it's just kind of all the same.
Right.
So I don't know that I belong in that group, but I would say that I do. Let's call me a backwoods foodie, maybe you could say. So not high level.
A backwood barbecue kind of. You know who is a foodie? And of course, our station lives all over the podcast and the digital and social, but we are over the dial. I mean, this is a real radio station too. A little bit closer to home in Jasper is Hans Rupert. I mean, Hans, his family owned the Woodbridge forever, and a buddy of mine, we worked together in TV back in the day and everything, and I don't know if I've ever met anyone that knows as much about food as that cat does. I mean, he's written books and speaks all over the world about different things. Obviously, he's had, stomach cancer for a long time, and he's dealt with it. Doesn't even really have much of a stomach anymore, but goes around and talks a lot about his ordeal. Imagine being a chef and then not really being able to eat a lot, because you've had your stomach removed. I mean, it's just like
crazy.
So, but again, Hans Rupert is very well known in the local area and beyond. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of food. Now, I will say this: I think my wife definitely is certainly a foodie compared to me. I love eating and tasting, but she does know, to your point, a little bit about the ingredients, can kind of pick things out and discern, as you said. So it's definitely a good talent to have.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it because it's certainly not mine.
I was trying to build you up into something even bigger and better than you already are. So,
I'm about as unimportant as they come in the day-to-day world. So, I'm not good at taking the hint there, but I appreciate you trying.
Well, no, man, you're a lot more important than you realize. So, hey, and speaking of, man, nobody knows the Atlanta Braves like my man Will Cooper. Let's dive back in and talk a little bit about the Tomahawk Take here as we kind of continue our conversation here into this third segment. Let's talk specifically pitching. We talked about Chris Sale, Strider, of course, getting back to form as well. I mean, your thoughts kind of on this rotation and also the bullpen, because we're kind of seeing this kind of, I guess, consistency of the seventh. You kind of see it, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth. I mean, a lot of scoreless innings out of our bullpen this year. I don't want to jinx it, but, guys like Kenley, who actually came in last night at the end of that game because, they were up by 4, so it wasn't necessarily a full save necessarily situation there. But, again, man, you're getting some pretty solid innings out of some of those setup guys. Not even your 8th inning guy, but even your 6th and 7th inning guys that have been able to come in and really close the door. And that's been a breath of fresh air.
Well, and I'll tell you the thing that stands out the most to me isn't even going on at the major league level. Maybe something fans have missed is that Hurston Waldrop, the Demon, as he is nicknamed, is through his first rehab assignment in the Florida Gulf Coast League on Monday. 2 innings, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Again, this is going to be a spring training to him, so it's going to be 45 days plus. The other part of that, A.J. Smith-Shawver is about to face live hitting for the first time in 6 months as well. Yeah. So he's probably only a couple of weeks behind Hurston. So we're about to have 2 guys come back to this major league club right around the trade deadline, along with Drake Baldwin, who should be coming back by next homestand, according to what Walt Weiss said.
Yeah.
We're about to get a whole bunch of reinforcements. But your point about the bullpen, who has the worst bullpen ERA on the team right now is Reynaldo Lopez.
Yeah.
With a 3.2 is the worst ERA pitcher you have in your bullpen right now. Yeah. Even Cookie Carrasco is sub-3 ERA right now. Yeah. Now, some of that's, spot use and good timing. Sure. But the bullpen is just across the board effective. To your point, if you got a starter that can just get you to the 6th, like Grant Holmes did. Grant Holmes should not be a starting pitcher in this rotation for a World Series contender, nor will he be when everybody comes back. Whether they do something at the trade deadline or you just trust your young guys to come back and handle it. He's going to be a bullpen piece.
Yeah.
But even for him, he got you to the 6th inning, 2 runs. Hey, you take that every single time because you're going to have Dylan Lee, Suarez.
Yeah.
and then you're going to have Raisel Iglesias to come in and close it.
Right.
So you only got to cover the back 3 innings. Now, like an example like last game was that Tyler Kinley came in the 9th because you didn't need Iggy.
Yeah.
But today that if for some reason you're in a 2-1 ball game and you need a hold, you got Suarez who can go again because he only went yesterday, didn't go the day before. And then you've got Iggy to come in and be a closer that has not blown a save since August of last year.
Yeah.
So just an incredible back end that you have. It's the kind of thing that a World Series contender has. It should remind you a bit of the 2021 Braves with that bullpen that was the night shift. The slider man, Luke Jackson, and then Will Smith, for some reason, decided to become a Craig Kimbrell elite closer in 2021. It's kind of what we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, to your point, I mean, you got some guys that are kind of interchangeable, too, in the bullpen because we've seen Suarez, we've seen different guys close and kind of flip-flop 8 and 9. I mean, Raisel obviously is your full-time closer, but there's been times where they've used other arms as well in that situation, and you're getting a lot of solid lockdown play there. Grant Holmes, again, last night tosses the 6 innings there. Kenny Powers, again, man, that's what people liken him to with that, mullet kind of curly hair there. But again, good performance. But, I'd kind of almost forgotten about Smith-Shawver. I mean, honestly, because of the way the Braves have been playing. And, that's a luxury when you have a guy that maybe is struggling back to the lineup, to your point, like i.e. Austin Riley or what have you. When you're winning, those things don't really get magnified as much. But if the Braves start falling apart, then all of a sudden you're going to start saying, well, hey, what about this guy? What about that guy? Acuna, to a certain extent, with the slow start, now seems to be finding his rhythm, which is great because, to your point, Drake Baldwin's been out of the lineup. You've missed his production to a certain extent. But that's what we said when Ronnie came back is about the time Drake, went on the IL, was like, well, maybe he can pick up the slack. And he's done that for the most part there. But, you want to see this team healthy, especially after the All-Star break, obviously, is when it really counts. So maybe right now they're getting their bumps and bruises taken care of, and hopefully we'll see a full force, team when we get on the other side of the All-Star break.
I think we will. I mean, I think the biggest thing, if you're a Braves fan, if you want to know what you should be, because it's again, we're sitting here at 42 and 40 or 42 and 20, excuse me. I mean, what do we really have to complain about? But we'll do it anyway. The reality of the matter is we got to have Austin Riley put up some kind. It doesn't have to be 2023 level. We know he's not going to be that. But we got to get him above the Mendoza line. We got to get him to 250. He needs to hit about 20 home runs a year to make money, make sense.
Yeah.
The contract's a really bad contract. Again, it's the richest contract the Braves have ever signed anyone to.
Yeah.
It looks really bad right now. And I hate to say that because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Ha-Seong Kim's an expensive mistake. No, he's not worth $20 million. Even if he comes back and catches on fire, we swung and missed, and we overloaded ourselves with depth. The good news is the trade deadline can answer some of those questions.
Right.
I don't think Riley's tradable. Who would take the $270 million that he's owed? I don't think anybody would until he puts up more. So, to your point, the good part of that is Drake Baldwin's going to be back. Sean Murphy will be back around the All-Star break as well. So we don't have to watch Sandy Leon bat, less, much less, like a quarter of your weight. I think he's batting like 75 right now.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I mean, we don't have to watch him do that. So there are things coming back. And again, I mean, the reality is the depth of your lineup, you really would have 1 through 8 be just completely solid when Drake Baldwin returns. And then you got to decide if you want to stick Austin Riley at third or go with the hot hand and Mauricio Dubon.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Again, our Braves Talk, I love it right here at Tomahawk Take, presented once again by our friends at Northside Hospital Cherokee. A lot of time here, of course, on the Braves because we are the new North Georgia home of your Atlanta Braves right here on the Sports Pig, on the app and online at sportspigradio.com. Hey, we're up against our final break, man, moving right along here on this Tailgate Thursday. When we come back, we'll dive in. Cooper Predictor, we'll have a couple of high school news and notes, and anything else we got time to touch, man, we'll do it right here on this edition of the Morning Morning Rant. Thanks for being with us right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
Morning Grind with Pork Rinds.
Welcome to the show.
It's the Morning Rant, weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on 98.1, 93.7, and 101.1 on the H2 dial. WPGY, the Sports Pig.
Back here on our Tailgate Thursday, final segment of the program today, again brought to you by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling, the Professor Dave Garner alongside the Golden Boy Will Cooper. And by the way, Coop, congratulations to your Alabama Crimson Tide. They are super regional bound in the NCAA tournament, along with a slew of other SEC teams. A lot of good representation taking place in the super regional.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker for the Jackets. Hated to see them go down. I really thought that with the amount of runs that they produced, they would go far. But unfortunately, ran into a tough group. And also, hate it for the Alabama softball team in the Women's College World Series, man. I mean, a heartbreaker against Oklahoma.
Yeah,
dropping that, in the semifinals there. That was brutal as well. But I'm very proud of the baseball team. To be honest, I'm not sure what their upper limit is at this juncture. They've kind of been a second-tier team to me, kind of a step behind the Georgia Tech's, Auburn's at this level. But we'll see. Baseball is one of those sports that it only matters when you get hot more than it does how good you actually are.
There you go. And you'll get a kick out of this. We did have a text, a listener earlier in the week on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line, again, 866-888-0744, said Georgia still leads the country in arrest. So again,
yes, they do.
And that was a direct stab at Billy D there on Tuesday. But again, nonetheless, the NCAA baseball and softball. I love watching the women's game. I mean, honestly, just as much as the baseball. I mean, the softball, a very fast moving game. It's always fun watching. I mean, there's a lot of drama there, and a lot of late inning heroics. It seems like in those games, even more so than the men's baseball. But yeah, man, you're seeing a lot of these games, man, coming down to the final at bat on both, baseball and softball. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I tend to enjoy this time of year because of that. So,
Yeah, no, it's a fun tournament. I think, if I remember correctly, looking at TV ratings, the Women's College World Series normally does some pretty good numbers over the Men's College World Series.
Right.
And I, to your point, I kind of get it, especially when the thing about the Women's College World Series is they have those dynasties, the Oklahomas type, that just win so consistently. Right. It makes for a good tournament. Now, for some reason, I don't know if it's just me or if others can speak to this, but it seems like college baseball this year has had a lot more attention put on it. Now, it may be because Georgia Tech, Auburn, and Alabama all were in it. So our little niche of fandom was all included.
Right.
Or it may just be the sport is growing. Either way, it's a good sign.
You got Ole Miss in there as well. You got Mississippi State, of course, who Georgia will play. And so, Texas is in there as well, taking on Oregon. And you got some smaller schools, too, like Troy and Little Rock, man, going at each other. So one of those teams is going to advance even further. So, sometimes you do tend to mix in some of the smaller schools as well that qualify and advance. So, again, a lot of eyeballs on the NCAA football. Baseball and softball tournament this weekend. Hey, I want to transition real quick and kind of get your thoughts. And again, we're running out of time here because this hour is already flying by. Again, as part of our prep rally right here on the high school roundup, man, the GHSA high school football schedules, of course, have been released. And I know there's a lot of talk about that. This will be kind of an ongoing conversation that you and I have, Coop, moving through the rest of the way here. But, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. Obviously, Etowah and Woodstock, the Battle of Town Lake right there in the opening week of Cherokee. It looks like they're going to open up at home against Lassiter and christen the new football stadium there on the new campus of Cherokee High School. So, again, a lot of good things happening. Pickens opening up at North Cobb Christian. Again, Creekview at Forsyth Central. So, yeah, man, we're already kind of talking about it, kind of looking forward to that time of year.
Yeah, we are, and it's going to be interesting to see how schedules are managed. We'll get into this as we get closer, and I can kind of break out the PSR, which is the new ranking system, and show you why some of these schools have scheduled who they have, and you kind of see some different strategies going on. Like Creekview's strategy is far and away much, much, much different than Sequoia's strategy at the end of the day. Yeah. Now, again, when it gets to the rest of the world, you got to play in your region.
Yes.
But, you have Creekview who's scheduling teams like North Springs and Forsyth Central, to your point, and I think they follow up with Cass. Lower classification, higher win rate. Not a bad idea. Somebody might have, thrown that idea out there.
Thought of that.
And then you look at Sequoia, it's Denmark, Lambert, Lee County, and Wheeler. Higher classification, much more difficult games.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting to see where they were able to find opponents, because it was all about, somebody had to agree to play you too.
Right.
So you have to have an inverse there, but. There's some really good games, not only early in the year, but again, Sequoia is going to host Lee County on September 4th.
No, yeah, like third
regular season game. That's crazy.
Yeah, regular season game, which was a rematch of a quarterfinal game, I guess, a few years ago, I believe, or.
That was Creekview that went down to Lee County in 2018.
Yeah, I'm getting them confused. So, I'm looking at the schedule right now. Gilmer opening up with Stevens County at home. Calhoun taking on Jefferson, which is a rematch of the state championship from not last year, but the previous year. Those two went at it. Calhoun, of course, beating Jefferson for a state championship. Those guys will open the regular season against each other this year. So, looking down the schedule, man, we'll continue to chop that up as we talk more and more about that as we climb ever closer to the high school football season here in 2026. Hey, time now to make a few predictions.
It's time for the weekly Cooper Predictors.
60% of the time, it works every time.
On the Morning Rant.
All right, so again, we talk a lot of baseball. We talk some tennis. The French Open this weekend, the finals, a lot of new names taking part, here in the semifinals, leading up to the weekend. Some of the bigger names have been knocked out of the tournament. I know we've talked about tennis a little bit over the last couple weeks, but where are we going today, partner?
We're staying away from tennis. The French Open is a nightmare right now. You mentioned there are 4 players left outside the ATP Top 100.
Right.
Bump that. That is crap. That to me, that's nothing but a trap.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you some betting advice. I'm gonna make it nice and concise here for you. There's a few games that I want you to put, and you can decide. Everybody out there decide. But put an even amount of money.
Yep.
On the Oakland, Las Vegas, Sacramento Athletics. Okay, that's pick number 1.
Whatever
Put
they
an
are.
even amount of money with the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
If you do both of those, you only need one to win, and you'll make money. And I like our odds on that one.
There we go.
Staying away from the Braves, they're minus 218. That is too expensive.
Yeah.
Way too expensive. And I don't trust Toronto to do anything with Chris Sale on the mound. The other one is I like Cleveland. They're plus money, plus 138 right now. So give me Cleveland against the Yankees. The Yankees have not performed well against teams with winning records.
Right.
And I want you to pair them with the San Francisco Giants on the road at Milwaukee. Too long odds there for a Milwaukee team that is really good when their first 2 starters go. Outside of that, they're just kind of an average team. So give me the Giants. And if you pair those, then all we need is for one of them to win each. Again, if you want to put even money on all 4, we only need 2. But if you want to do segments, I like the first 2 picks first and then the second 2.
I like that. Yeah, Brewers don't have a lot of they got top-end rotation, but not necessarily beyond that, past the 2 there. So, again, Giants, Brewers, a lot of baseball this week right here on the Cooper Predictor. For those of you that are maybe just joining us and they're not familiar with it, again, my man, the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, has an algorithm that works, and especially true for football. We were talking about high school football just a moment ago. Can't wait to break it out for that. But Coop has expanded his horizons over the years as to include tennis, you name it. now baseball and plenty of other sports. So now, is there an online platform? I can't remember if I've asked you that or not, but where can folks go if they want to find out? Because you brought something else to the table last week. You had a different thing that you had talked a little bit about.
Yeah, so we will work on expanding this summer. So there will be a place that people can go and do all sorts of fun things. But right now it's on my Twitter account. So just head over to WIL24 Cooper on Twitter and DM me anything that you would like to know. But by football season, hopefully we'll have a website where all football fans can go and see what we think and have their high school football rankings and all that.
I love it, man. I love it. We're going to continue the conversation right here on The Morning Rant. Thanks for joining us. Hey, our social media, Sports Pig is on Facebook. Our show, The Morning Rant, on Instagram. Also, full video episodes on YouTube. The podcast version of the show available on our website every day at sportspigradio.com. And wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast, again, you can also catch me on Twitter as well, at Dave Garner 777. He, as he mentioned, is at WIL24 Cooper. And this is The Morning Rant. Thanks for joining us right here. Again, out of time on this edition of the program. Join us tomorrow for the Friday Happy Hour presented by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Big John back with me tomorrow as we chop up the weekend and take a look ahead. Coop, as always, man, thanks for bringing it right here on this Tailgate Thursday, as you always do. I will see you again on Tuesday, man, right here on the program.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, partner.
There you go. We end every day by saying the same thing. If you don't know, you better ask.
You better ask somebody.
There you go. Again, The Morning Rant right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. Our man Chuck Oliver up next with Southern Sports Today, the king of college football. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is always open, 866-888-0744. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on the show. Thanks for joining us once again as we get set to rock and roll. See you tomorrow.
When you get hurt from an accident, it can feel like no one is listening to you. The insurance company talks over you. The bills keep coming. It's like the pain and inconvenience doesn't even matter to them. But your story does matter. And here at Geiger Legal, we will make sure your story is heard loud and clear. My name is Casey Geiger, and my firm stands up for people who have been wronged through someone else's negligence. Let us tell your story. Let us get the justice you deserve, and let's start today.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG, and let us tell your story today.